start with, what kind of a woman was your mother before cancer?
My mother was a happy woman. She was a hardworking lady. She was hopeful with life. She had a lot of dreams. That was her.
Okay, and when did you first notice that something was wrong?
On my end, I really didn't notice. She just informed me that she felt an abnormal hardness or growth on her left breast. And when she told me about it, I touched it and felt it and really agreed to her that was abnormal.
Okay. So after you noticed that, I believe you went to seek medical attention. So how was this diagnosis confirmed?
She went to hospital, and the doctor suggested they do a biopsy. So when they did the biopsy, the results were out within 2 weeks. And that was how we got the diagnosis and found out that it was a cancerous growth.
By the way, did you know what is cancer before? Did you have an understanding of what really cancer is?
No, I didn't. I just knew it was a deadly disease because we have seen even most popular people in this country and in the world would die. We would hear what so and so died, what happened? He or she had cancer. So we would know, my God, cancer is so deadly. It is gonna kill you. That was my understanding.
Okay, sorry to ask, but what was your first emotional reaction?
I broke down into tears because according to what I knew what cancer was, I just started seeing the burial of my mother dying because of this disease. Yeah, because I really prayed to God when she was going for the diagnosis, the growth not to turn out cancerous. But unfortunately, my biggest fear came, and I really, really cried. It was even uncontrollable. And she was the one that was actually consoling me and trying to educate me about it and how it is going to be treated, and she's gonna be okay. She tried to change the mentality that I had of the disease being deadly.
Yeah, it's worth noting that your mother was brave. So now you started the journey to to seeking medical attention and all that. So what was the daily life like during the treatment?
The daily life was like you had to wake up early so that you can take like when we are going to visit the hospital, you had to wake up early, so that you can be able to get the services earlier and go home earlier. A day was like you need to cater for her diet. She needs to eat properly, healthy, a balanced diet. You need to give her strength. You need to help her in most of the things because her body was also weak. You would make sure she's entertained so that she can always be happy and find a reason to keep on fighting.
Okay, so by now you had become a caregiver, in other words. In your process or during that time, what can you look back and say, this was my biggest challenge as a caregiver?
My biggest challenge was controlling my emotional journey as well, because it was not really good if I cried in her presence and at the same time I'm giving her strength. It wouldn't make sense. So my biggest challenge was balancing the tears in between the smile. Like You're crying internally, but externally you're showing her the purpose of life. She needs to push on, but again, I'm asking myself, is this even possible? We are at the far corner, like when the resources are not there. She needs medication. The tumor doesn't understand, like, I need to stop growing, or I need to lower the aggressiveness I'm having because there is no funds. So it was in between the hard journey. It was not easy balancing what I felt and what I want her to feel, so that she can continue fighting on.
Well, that's quite touching. Now, talking of emotions, because I heard you mentioning it, what do you think helped your mother most, emotionally speaking?
It is that hope that I gave her. I would tell her, Mom, you're gonna make it, you're going to fight it, because she had reached a point where she was giving up. The journey is not easy. You are the breadwinner. You are fighting a certain disease that is draining you even financially, and then the support that you need from your family members, your relatives, you can't feel it. So I was the only one that was pushing her, praying for her. I would hold her hands when she was unable to sleep and pray words of hope to her, and she would become and rest. And she would always tell me whenever we are going to the hospital, you really do an amazing job for me. If I didn't have was my daughter,
Take it easy.
I don't know who would be running all the paperwork for me in this hospital. So she would tell me that I was her hope, I was the strength, and it reached to a point whereby she would now call me her nurse. She would call me, hey, my nurse, I want to report myself today. I've not been eating, and so on. And I would make sure she eats and she completes the food in the plate. So I would say I was her emotional support. I would give her that strength to keep on hoping.
Okay. And by the way, is there something you wish you had known earlier, before all this came?
I wish I knew her body was going to change, because it reached a point of you are going to lose hair, you're going to lose some weight, your body skin tone is gonna change. I was not ready for that, especially seeing her hair like dropping off, like you would pull it and it would come out instantly. It really scared me. I wish I knew how dangerous those drugs were. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's try to get to a point where we can create some awareness to our listeners by asking these questions on behalf of them. What signs should people never ignore?
That abnormal growth that is growing within your body, especially the ones that you can feel from externally, because it is the one that I'm having experience with. Others that grow internally, I believe each and every person should get that medical cover. Twice a year or once in a year, we get to go and have a full screening, so that we don't get such surprises where you're having something that is growing and you don't know, and it accelerates to the next level where it cannot be manageable.
Okay, so do you believe that early testing is important?
Yeah, early detection saves lives, but again, you can have the early detection of that growth or of that cancer, but your cancer might be a bit different, where it is a bit aggressive, whereby the doctors are trying to find the best medication that is suiting you. Some medications might not align with the cancerous. The cancer might be a bit aggressive. So it really depends with the case, but the earlier, the better.
Okay, and what advice would you give to families that are going through this?
I would advise them to take a day at a time. Don't have the gloomy days getting to overtake the days whereby you're happy. Pray for the patient, give the patient hope, put a smile on their face, pray for them. Like you really have to be there for that patient, and it is gonna be well. And also trust in the doctors, and also trust in the medication that they are giving.
Okay, Nyawira, you have gone through this, and therefore I would kindly request you to speak a word to someone who just lost a parent.
I'm sorry for anyone that has lost a parent. It is not an easy journey. I'm also still learning on how to cope up with life without my mother, because she was there since I had my first breath, all my childhood, all my teenagehood, and also into adulthood. And then all of a sudden you're having a life without them, which is not easy. You just find a way whereby you can express your grief. Pray to God to give you strength and peace so that you can be able to move on with this life, because the life still continues with and without them. Yeah.
Okay, and now to our last question. And thank you very much for being there to speak to someone. I believe this have been very powerful, and I'm sure somebody somewhere is encouraged. If your mother could speak to families today, what do you think she would say?
She would say, keep on grinding whatever you're doing. Be happy. Use each and every opportunity that you get. You wanna do something, chase it. You have the capability of doing something, do it that time. Enjoy each moment you're having and each and every chance you're having. The little things that we take for granted, like having hair on your head. If you don't enjoy your hair when it is there is a day that you are going to meet. You'll be like, by the way, once upon a time I had hair. Why did I not do this with my hair? And you will look for that hair and you won't have it. So each and every chance you're having, use it wisely and enjoy it to the fullest.